Ok, bienvenue, bonjour. Aujourd'hui, on commence avec un peu de révision des verbes en passé composé. We're going to be practicing again the verbs in passé composé. Let's review the things we need to think about when writing in the past tense. I just want to keep us going on the same train. There are several things we must consider when writing in the past tense. First, what ending or form does the verb use when it becomes a past participle? What ending or form does it use? So we have to know, does it have an E with an accent? Does it have an I? Does it have a U? Is it an irregular verb? So we have to think about that. 2, does the verb use être or avoir in the past tense? So remember, all the verbs use avoir except for one list of verbs, and that list we have learned, at least some of them. If it uses être as its past participle, what endings are needed on the past participle? Remember, when it's feminine, it needs an E. When it's plural, it needs an S. And if it's feminine and plural, it needs an ES. That doesn't happen if you use avoir as a past participle. But if you use être as a past participle, you need to remember that. Once you remember those 3 things, you can form the passé composé with no problem at all. You've been doing this all week. You did this last week. You know it. And we're going to practice it one more time tomorrow we'll start doing some writing, and then we will talk about our test that we're having, which will I believe it will be just multiple choice, but I might give it some writing too. Okay, let's practice now. So you're going to be sure to pause if you need a moment to figure out the answer. You can use your notes while we practice. Also, I'm going to suggest that you do this one time out loud and then one time written in your notebook. You need to know the spelling, but you also need to practice the pronunciation. And it's true, you have seen these before. In fact, you saw many of them yesterday. It's not as many as yesterday, but this is the most important part of our entire year, is making sure we understand the past tense. So we're just going to review it to be sure we know it exactly right. If you get through this and you've gotten them all correct, that's great. Just keep studying as we get closer to the test. If you don't, I really recommend you go back and practice these over and over, because these are the same kinds of words. In fact, some of them actually are the words that will be on the test. All right, here we go. Let's do it. I'm going to be faster this time. You're going to tell me in French, or you're going to write it down, one or the other, and then maybe you can go back and switch after a while. There are not as many today as yesterday. So, he climbed. Il est monté. She was happy. Elle a été content. She went out or exited. Elle est sortie. Notice the E on the end. Elle est sortie. She was late. Elle a été en retard. He gained weight. Il a grossi. She went down, as in to go down the stairs, or to go down into someplace. Elle est descendue. And remember, there's an E on the end because she's female. He entered. Il est entré. Il est entré. No extra E, no extra S, because he's just one guy. He fell. Il est tombé. She stayed. Elle est restée. Extra E, she's feminine. He left. Il est parti. Il est parti. He put on a t-shirt. Oh my gosh, it's a whole phrase. He put on a t-shirt. Il a mis un t-shirt. She returned home. Elle est rentrée. I climbed. Je suis montée. She saw the movie. Elle a vu le film. She took the pen. Elle a pris le stylo. He was afraid. Il a eu peur. I went out. I exited. Je suis sortie. She took a walk. Elle a fait une promenade. He returned. Il est retourné. He was hungry. Il a eu faim. I took a walk. Promise not too many more. I took a walk. J'ai fait une promenade. He chose a pizza. Il a choisi une pizza. He was happy. Il a été content. I chose a pizza. J'ai choisi une pizza. He finished the book. Il a fini le livre. Il a fini le livre. I lost weight. J'ai maigri. That was amazing. You guys are rock stars at French. You make me want to do a cartwheel. Time for independent work. I thought we would have a flip grid, but I changed my mind, so just a Google Doc to work on. Au revoir, mes amis. Should I do that again just for fun? All right, one more time. Okay, this is where I say au revoir. Clearly, I need to go take a nap or something. I'm being weird. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bonne journée et à demain.